Hello everyone and welcome to a gorgeous sunny morning. So bit of a different week this week because I'm going away next week, so I'm starting to prep to make sure that everything will be okay while I'm not here. So first thing that I'm thinking, so we're going away on the Monday, it's now the Wednesday today, and I need someone to look after my chilli plants. So I'm going to pack them up in a box and I'm going to my nan's today. So on the way I'm going to drop them at my aunt's house and she's going to look after them for me. Okay, so this box is completely full of chilies, and then I've got 3 larger ones just here. Okay, so it is now Sunday and we are going on holiday tomorrow on the Monday. So my chilies are now safely at my aunt's house and she's got them all on some shelving, looking after them for me. So thank you so much for looking after them for me. My greenhouse is now really empty. So if you look around, there's absolutely nothing in it now. Absolutely nothing. So everything's either been planted or it's being looked after, and that is because I am going away and I didn't want anything in the greenhouse because it gets so hot in here. There's no one going to be watering it. It wouldn't survive. But what I am going to do is get sowing for when I'm back. So I did this before when I went camping at the beginning of the year and I'm going to do it again. So I've just filled up these cell trays. These are the ones that you can cover, so they should be all right. The compost is really wet. I'll give them a tiny little bit more water and they should be all right for the week. I don't know if I'm going to leave them in the greenhouse though. I might put them in my house where they're less likely to dry out. They're going to be covered with these, so it should keep the moisture in, and they should actually germinate by the time I'm back. So that's my fingers crossed anyway. That's what I'm hoping. So that's my job for today. So first of all, I need to work out what I want to be sowing. Okay, so I've got my seed box. I am going to have a look in here and see what it is that I can be sowing now in August, so that I can be planting them out ready for either spring crops or some fast growing things that can still grow towards the end of the season. So let's have a look at what I've got in here. I think all the ones at the bottom might be peppers and tomatoes. Yeah, they are. So let's have a look at the ones on the top and see what I've got that I can be sowing. So radish mooli radish, daikon radish, absolutely love that. I'm definitely going to be sowing some of that. So I really want to do that directly though, so I'm going to wait for when I'm back to do that. Rhubarb chard, I'm going to get some more chard in definitely. Lettuce, I'm going to sow some more lettuce. I've got some kale, I'm definitely going to sow some of that. I've got some radishes. I am going to sow them actually. I am going to sow the radish and I'll do some more direct when I get back. Coriander and parsley, I have still got quite a lot of that, so I'm going to do that when I get back. Pak choy, I'm definitely going to do some pak choy. I've got some different kale as well. Ethiopian Amara, I'm going to do that. So I've got a couple of kales, some radish, some pak choy and some chard. Got some more radish seeds there, so I'll keep them to one side. Arctic King, August to October. So I'm going to sow some of that lettuce. I am going to now start some of my spring cabbages. So I've got these pointed cabbage, I've got Offenham. So I'm going to be sowing those ones. And I've also got some greyhound cabbage. And I've got some broccoli. So I've got a lot to be starting actually. Okay, so I've got these cell trays which hold, they've got 12 cells in them. But I am going to multi-sow into each of the cells and then just prick them out when I'm back. So I'm going to probably do 3 or 4 in each cell and then prick them out and put them on hopefully when I get back and they've germinated. So it should just bide me a bit of time and get me a bit of head start as I am on holiday. I'm going to start sowing and labelling and then I'm going to get them covered and hopefully they'll have a good start. I have now got 4 of these cell trays full, and they've all got 2 or 3 different things in them. And I've also just makeshifted one that I have put my rocket and my chard in. I just want to keep the moisture in as much as I can. So if it germinates, it germinates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But hopefully these will give me a bit of a head start, and I can be pricking these out and potting them on when I get back from holiday. Next thing I want to do, because I've just discovered in my greenhouse all of these chewed seed packets. I mean, they're absolutely chewed to pieces. I mean, some of them, there's actually, you don't even know what that is. Well, I can see it's some sort of bean. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some microgreens sowed again, so that I've got them when I get back from holiday, hopefully to eat. I've got a small tray here, which I've filled about 1 inch with compost at the bottom, and I'm going to use all those ripped packets. And then I've got a larger one here, which is what I normally use for my microgreens. And I've got this little pot here, which I keep on my kitchen windowsill, but I bought in. Apparently this looks like me. My nan, everyone's got one of these, and they call it Gemma. So can you see the likeness? They're all in there, my microgreens that I sow, and they're usually the ends of packets or things that I've got too much of, or things that I won't get to sow this season. So I've got things like peas and beans and pumpkins and sunflowers and things like that. So I'm going to fill that tray, absolutely fill to the brim with seeds. And then I'm actually going to try and cover that as well with something dark, probably another tray, because then they germinate, they reach for the light. When I come back, I'll take that off, and hopefully I'll have some nice microgreens within a couple of days. My microgreens now sown as well. So it's really good because you get rid of all like the bottoms of the seed packets and things that you might not be sowing again next year. You might have just got the seeds in a seed swap or in a magazine, or someone's given them to you, you're not sure of them. Use them up as microgreens. It's so easy, and then you've got like stuff to put in your salad or whatever you might want. So I've done those, I've done all of the other sowings. I'm ready to go on holiday, apart from one thing. I need to go and water the allotment. So here I am down at the plot. The tomatoes are ready to harvest. There's cucumbers ready to harvest. Things are really starting to take a turn down here. Summer's finally arrived at the plot, just as I'm going on holiday. But I'm going to get everything harvested that I can. I'm going to tidy up the tomatoes a little bit, harvest the cucumbers, and then have a little look around and see what else there is for me to do before I go. So I've got a nice bucket of tomatoes, and we will take them with us on holiday. The cucumbers I'm actually going to leave. I think they need a little bit longer, so I'm going to leave them and harvest them when I get back. I've tidied up these tomatoes a tiny bit, but to be honest, they don't need much. They're doing amazing. All of a sudden, I've actually got tomatoes that are nearly ready, and it's really exciting. So I'll leave all them for the week, and some of them should be right by the time I get back. I've just given this area a little tiny bit of a tidy up. It needs so much work, but I just haven't had the time to do it. So I've just been sort of doing what I can when I can. That'll be a job for when I get back. But there's just so many tomatoes inside that mini polytunnel, so I've given it a bit more airflow. It's going to be fine for the week, and when I get back, that's the first thing I'm going to tackle. Got to keep showing you my rhubarb, which is looking absolutely amazing all of a sudden. And for the beans, I've got loads of beans on here actually. They're all over this archway. All of a sudden they've actually come to life a little bit, so I'm going to leave them. I'll harvest them when I get back. And my pumpkins, I'm just going to quickly tie these in. I will show you. They've started to take off a little bit, which is good. So I'm going to tie those in to this frame, and then that should help them out a little bit. So I've now done those 3 things. I have taken the chilies and peppers to my aunt's house. She's going to look after them. I've sowed some seeds for when I get back, and hopefully I'll be pricking them out in just over a week's time. And I've just come down here, harvested what I can. I'm going to give a really good water. Now I'm ready to go on holiday. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you again soon.